Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Aaron coming at you with a fresh new video. In this video today, you guys, we're going to be talking about a topic not a lot of other YouTubers really discuss. And the topic today, you guys, is going to be discipline, getting in trouble in the military. So I'm going to go over the process for both enlisted and officers because there is a big difference in what happens. And I'm going to try to cover some of the articles and NJP, which stands for non-judicial punishment. So if you do get in trouble, I'm going to discuss some of the things that could possibly happen. So I feel like this is a topic not really a lot of people talk about, so I thought I would do a video on this, cover it, and discuss a little bit. Since I did that tattoo video, and then the #1 tattoo being the Jolly Roger, meaning you had gone to captain's mast, you'd gotten in trouble. So I figured since I threw that out there, I would cover events leading up to the Jolly Roger, quite possibly. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, you guys, so check it out. We're going to go over Enlisted first. So I'm going to give like a quick little rundown, and I'll probably give an example, and then we'll go over officers, right? So, let me fix my eyebrows. So check this out. So, boom, you got in trouble. Let's say, I'll give you an example, right? So, coming up in a year, I'm starting my series. I have named it yet, but that's to later on be announced. But I'm going to be doing a travel vlog. I'm going to be traveling the world, going to all kinds of crazy places, hopefully, time permitting. And I'm going to do vlogs of these places and show you, like, all kinds of stuff and awesome things about wherever I'm going. First stop is going to be Hawaii, so I'm pretty excited. So, for these travel vlogs, I want to get a drone to get some nice cinematic shots to really showcase wherever I'm going and to show you guys places and just awesome views. And it'll make for good editing and things like that. So, let's say I get my drone and I want to do a video about a Navy base. I'm saying, hey, here's what you can do on a base, and I want to get some nice shots covering the base or maybe some of the ships, right? So, for those of you that are not aware, on a military base, it's a huge no-no to fly drones. This is just an example. I'd never do anything crazy like this. So, but for argument's sake, let's say my dumb self goes and I'm making an awesome video showcasing some Navy base, right? A base in Wisconsin or something, I don't know, whatever. So let's say we're doing this video. I'm flying my drone. Boom, I get caught, busted by the MAs, which are our military police for the Navy, our security forces, and then due process follows. Eventually, I will get DRB, which is disciplinary review board, right? MA1 or whatever of the base, the MA in charge, whoever will notify me, hey, you have DRB on this date. Right, so it gives me enough time to prep my dress whites or my dress blues, depending on what season it is, and I'm going to go into what's called the chief's mess, which is basically a disciplinary review board made up of all these chiefs, which are then going to proceed to basically yell at me and I'm not even going to say possibly, they're probably going to make me cry, make me feel like crap, and then they're going to deliver a punishment. So punishments that could follow are nothing if it gets dropped, if they're like, hey, this is stupid. Or they could decide, no, this individual needs EMI, which is extra military instruction, which could be like a lot of things, uniform inspections, extra work assignments, all kinds of stuff. They could possibly move me out of the barracks and put me somewhere where they could keep like a closer eye on me and all sorts of stuff. So then from there, if they decide, hey, our punishment really isn't enough, this needs to go forward. What they're going to do is they're going to do a recommend of the case to XOI. Now, XOI, I'm not going to pretend like I know what that stands for. I know it stands for something like intricate. I'm sure someone knows. If you do know, make sure you put that in the comments. Let me know, and I'll pin that comment at the top. I'm not sure what it means, like off the top of my head. But XOI is basically a fancy term, just like DRB, for going to see the executive officer. So now you have like the CMC, you have the XO, and then on the top of your command, you have the CO, which is the commanding officer. So generally, you never really see the CMC. You just go to the chief's mess, which is just a bunch of chiefs. So next stop is going to be the XO. The XO will possibly give you a punishment or whatever, but they're going to decide. They're going to be the ultimate deciding factor of, does this need to go further, right? So they will recommend you, or they will not recommend you for captain's mast. So captain's mast is pretty much like It's almost there at the top. Yeah, you're thinking, all right, captain's mast is pretty horrible, but it could actually get a little bit worse. So going to captain's mast is non-judicial punishment, right? This is all non-judicial punishment. So basically what NJP, non-judicial punishment, means is they can find creative ways of punishment. They can do pretty much almost anything, right? So I'll give you an example. So what the CO could do, the CO could look at the case and be like, you're stupid. You're stupid for doing this, right? This is a huge threat to security, right? I could have authorized MAs to shoot down your drone. Now we're putting live rounds in the air. They're going to be thinking of all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So what the CO can do is say, all right, I'm going to bust you down in rank. So you can be like a second class. You could go down to being a third class, which is an E5. So you go from, I'm sorry, I messed it up. But you know what I'm saying? You could go from like being an E5 to like an E3 or an E2. It's really up to them. I'm sure there are certain regulations they have to follow, but they can bust you down in rank. I've seen it done, like they've been dropped to 2 ranks. Devastating. And then they give you like half month's pay. So like you get half of your paycheck. So like whatever you, like let's say if you were going to earn $1,000, you'd really only get like 500. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Pretty good incentive to not mess up in the future. But they can do even more. They can put you in like restrictions, which is basically kind of like jail. They're like really keeping an eye on you, but it's not really jail. So I know what you're thinking. That sounds horrible. How could it get any worse? So they can put in a package and they can make it a legal thing saying, hey, like this dude was in a fight or whatever. So instead of kicking him out, which they can also kick you out if they choose after doing all this craziness, they can also say, which I'm going to tack onto that, which is basically SEPs. They put you in SEPs, which is separations. So if they decide, nah, this needs to go further, like this dude needs to go to jail or whatever. So what happens from there is like they put in this request. So then you're going to basically get like a court date. What we would call it in the civilian world is an NTA, a notice to appear. So now you're going to go in front of this like jury basically, and they're going to try your case against the CO. Right? So the CO will probably have like a lawyer. You'll have like your lawyer as well. And then it comes to like a legal thing. So now you're fighting to like not be incarcerated. So like that's the full extent. Like it's pretty bad. Now I'm not going to get into like desertion and like treason and things like that, because the penalty for that, like we all know what the penalty is for that. But I want to stay on the terms of like within the realm. Like you're not going to obviously do anything like super crazy if you were to get in trouble, which I don't recommend. But that's pretty much it on the enlisted side. Now, let's cover officers. All right, this is actually pretty funny because I actually just learned this the other day. So before I get into what happens to officers that get in trouble, there's one thing I did miss with enlisted. So when you go to captain's mast, there's going to be 2 forms of mast you can have. 1 being open, so you'll have open mast, or 2 being closed mast. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, there's a difference. Yes, there's obviously a difference. I'm going to explain that to you. So, closed mast, for the most part, the CO already has their mind made up on what the punishment is and what's going to happen. 9 times out of 10, they follow the recommendation of the XO, but at the end of the day, the CO gets the ultimate say, right? So, their mind is pretty much made up when it comes to closed mast. But sometimes your mind changes when you're, face to face with an individual, but wouldn't bank on it. No, I'm just kidding. But regardless, open mast. So open mast, you have a pretty decent shot of maybe changing the outcome, because in open mast, you're allowed to say it. You're allowed to say your piece. You can possibly have your supervisor with you, and they'll ask your supervisor, how is this person at work? Are they a P sailor, which is like a promotable sailor, like you're doing the bare minimum, like, right? Or is this person like an EP, like they have an outstanding work ethic, they're the first one there, they're the last one, you don't have to tell them to do anything, they're fully qualified, just a bang up, good freaking sailor, right? So I'm not saying P sailors are bad sailors, that's not what I'm saying, that was a terrible example, but I'm just saying, they're gonna see from your supervisor's perspective, does this person do the bare minimum? Are they constantly getting counseled on things? Or are they like going above and beyond what's expected? They're going to look at the totality of the circumstances in all aspects, right? So they're going to look at how you perform in your job, how you are outside of your job, They're going to look at all sorts of stuff. Is this person volunteering? Are they doing anything to better themselves? Are they doing any college classes? Anything with education? Like I said, volunteering. They're going to look at all sorts of stuff, right? Now, your supervisors can be there to defend you, or they'll be like, no, constantly late, having to counsel them on this, that, and the other, has a terrible uniform. So at the end of the day, it really falls on you. So open mast can either make you or break you. So you have a chance with open mast. So you just want to make sure you're not doing the bare minimum at your job. You should never want to do the bare minimum regardless. You should always want to do best of your ability at everything, whether you're going to stay in 5 years or stay in 30 years, right? So you should always want to do your best, because you know what? Let's say you get to the end of your 5-year contract and you say, you know what? I'm not ready to leave the Navy or the Army or whatever. And you can say, I'm just going to stay in another 5 years until I'm ready to get out, and maybe I'll have a job lined up by then. That happens a lot. And people spend like their first 5 years, I'm getting out in 5 years, I'm not going to really care. And then guess what? They're a third class instead of being a first class, eligible for chief, eligible for like OCS, or not OCS, but for LDO, right? So you got to look at things like that too. So you should never want to do the bare minimum, because you never know. You could have your mindset on something, but it can change. And I've had that experience a lot with things throughout my entire life. I want to do this, I want to do this, and things constantly change. So never do the bare minimum. Always let your work ethic speak for who you are. Now that I'm off that high horse, let's talk about what happens to officers, right? So never really hear about officers going to do their discipline stuff, whatever you want to call it, which there's a name for it, which we're going to go over in a second. And it's because it's like a secret society, I guess. I honestly don't know, but I mean, it makes sense, because you're supposed to like look up to chiefs, and you're supposed to look up to officers, right? You're supposed to respect them. Honestly, respect any position of authority. Rank doesn't really matter. You can respect an E1, because an E1 can have leadership qualities and lead by example, the same as a chief could, the same as a lieutenant could. Anybody can be a leader. I've preached this since I was like 13 in the Explorers program for the sheriff's office. I wasn't like, not even a corporal or a sergeant or anything, and I was constantly leading by example. I was one of the ones I was like looked to for stuff. So anybody can be a leader. So don't let rank limit you. Anybody can be a leader. So back on topic. So officers don't go to DRB. They don't go to XOY. And from what I've been told, they don't even go to captain's mast. They go to what's called admiral's mast. So they go see the admiral. And I don't know if that's like good or bad. I would assume bad. Like, when I say good or bad, I'm comparing in terms of like captain's mast. So I would think in order to go to admiral's mast, you'd have to do something pretty bad, or like out of character or whatever. So never heard of it. I recently just found this out. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go see the captain. I don't want to go see an admiral. For sure don't want to go see the chiefs. So there you have it. Just knowledge is power. Know everything you're allowed to do, everything you're not allowed to do. And if you don't know the answer to something, ask the question. I wanted to do a video recently, and it was one of those videos I was like, this is a very good video. I'm teaching a lot of good stuff, but the topic, I don't know. So I consulted with my mentor. For those of you that don't know, her name is Chief Zorza. Go check out her YouTube channel. I'm going to link that in the description, so make sure you go check her out. She does active duty side, reservist side. She covers everything. Just a wealth of knowledge. Go check her out, Chief Zorza. So I'll put the link to that in the description, so go check her out. So I kind of consult with her, and her exact words to me were, if it's something you got to think about uploading, go talk to your chain or whoever. And I kind of just decided, I'm not going to do it. There's other YouTubers that have done it, but I try to keep away from things that bring discredit upon the Navy. So I just kind of just dropped it. I was like, I'm not even going to do it, because I don't even want to do it. Other people are doing videos on it. It brings discredit upon the Navy. I don't like doing that. I love the Navy. Why would I want to share something that brings discredit upon the Navy? Even to make a learning experience out of it, I looked at it overall. It's something that it kind of teaches you just by it happening. You don't need someone to discuss it, right? So I kind of just left it. But if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask somebody. Ask your chain. Go ask whoever. There are people in places specifically for questions you have regarding whatever. There's so many programs in the Navy, but that pretty much covers it. That's it for the video, you guys. I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you guys liked the video. If not, let me know as well. Give me some suggestions on things you would like to see me discuss. I'm trying to stay on the boot camp topic for you guys. I've kind of run out of some ideas. I got a few, but I don't want to beat a dead horse. I mean, I have videos out there. I know people that are new to the channel have been like, hey, you should do a video on this. I've had tons of recommendations. I've already done videos on all of it. I can redo them, but I'd rather not backtrack. I want to talk about things or show things like making a bed, stuff that I haven't really done, which I've kind of already shown how to fold all the clothes. I've shown how to make a rack, but I'm sure I could do another take on it. I don't mind doing things like that, but let me know. Give me some out-of-the-box ideas that I could cover. I thought this is a little out-of-the-box idea. The kind of research I didn't really see like a whole lot of people kind of discussing this topic, so I figured, hey, why not cover it? But like I said, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, obviously leave a like. I would appreciate it. Leave a like. It really helps me out with all this new stuff we have in this day and age with the YouTube algorithm. I'd really like people to see my videos. It would really help them out. I'm sure I have tons of people thanking me for my videos, especially new. This is awesome. Also, contact me on my Instagram or my Snapchat. The links to those are in the description below. Or just drop by and say hi. I'm always here to ask any questions you guys got. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, check out all the videos I've uploaded. Maybe it'll help you out. I really think they would. I would hope they do. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys like what you see, please consider subscribing. It would really mean the world, and it really helps me out moving forward with creating new content. Side note, if you're interested in joining the Navy, don't hesitate. Contact me on either my Snapchat or my Instagram. I'm always there to answer your questions. Literally answering someone's questions at like 4 in the morning, like a day ago. So I'm always there for you guys. Whatever you guys need, let me know. I'm here for you. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.